We'll see. Microsoft, under $400 a buy. What's the deal with Microsoft?
Hold your head, Microsoft.
How long? How far will it go? Once again, will it reach under 400? It's all-time high. Well, 52-week high is $555. It's at $413 now, so it's pretty substantial drop. So, what's the deal with Microsoft?
Yeah, that high was in July of last year. It's been a few months. Don't love that. I think they are figuring out how to unwind this open AI relationship and partnership. If it gets to 379.90 or 352, I love it. I love it at 352. Do I think we'll see a bounce from here? Yes. I think what the market wants to see is more headwinds. I don't think they've been behind as much, but let's be very honest. The appeal of OpenAI is slowly fading. We can talk about the Super Bowl commercial and if you think that their product was a hit or not, but I think people are looking to see more from Microsoft, and I think they'll eventually deliver. But if we're going to be honest, like remember when Rough Riders came out and there was a certain energy behind every project they were putting out at a certain point? Microsoft and Apple don't have that right now. Claude does. Anthropic does through Claude.
But ChatGPT is still way bigger than Claude and Anthropic. As far as chatbots, user
For
daily
sure.
use, it's like 80% of the marketplace. Like they still tower that space. They're the biggest in that space by a long shot. Still,
Hands down, I agree 1,000%. I just don't think, and from what I know from the conversations I've had privately and some that's been posted publicly, Satya and executive leadership are not happy with Sam, and it's reflected in the price. So if I say that I'm going to put clients on Azure with Anthropic while I'm invested in OpenAI, that's not a good sign. That's the Stefan Diggs move.
Is
2 for 1?
Is this
hello?
Is this overblown? Is this Microsoft drop overblown?
I for sure,
right?
For sure.
You think about where obviously far from its all-time high, right? We pulled down over 20% here. You look at its numbers. Yes, again, the CapEx spend has gone up a bit. They said Azure obviously pulled back by 1%. I think they had a 38% growth instead of 39%, which they reported. Yep. So like a slight miss there. The OpenAI story is the story. And sure. I feel like like I said last week, there's just a bunch of companies that are just circling around that story. And the fortune of that, or maybe not the fortune of that, will determine how they will appreciate throughout 2026. And if they don't have a clear plan, I know that, there's the ads about like, hey, we're going to add revenue and why are we doing revenue? But I think they're just trying to figure out how to bring some money in and to start appeasing to some of its investors. Because if they continue at this rate, obviously Google has come into the space with their AI, and we can talk about the photography, we can talk about video. Anthropic is already here. XAI is here. They're only going to get better. Mm-hmm. They're only going to get better, and for sure. There's a chance that those companies are going to IPO before you. And so they got to figure some things out. And Microsoft, obviously having this close relationship with it, it's suffering from it. But I just feel like this is overblown. So would I have Microsoft here? Yeah, I think if you like it at 370, if you like it at 380, when it was down at 390 the other day, like you have to like it there too.
You have to love it.
Yeah.
And once again, they have a great relationship with Anthropic. So even if everything doesn't go well with OpenAI, they have the replacement. From what I've heard, they're very chummy. So yeah, you won't have to worry about much loss in Copilot and the other services that they offer from AI side. And if any company is going to figure it out, it's definitely going to be Microsoft.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like when maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, it felt like each one of these was having their own like GBT, right? When we thought it was Claude, it was Amazon first, and then Microsoft had OpenAI, and then Gemini was with Google, and then now it just feels like, how can we have a piece of all of it? Like we can all work together, right? So Microsoft now is dealing with Anthropic, right? So it's an interesting place. Yes, Sam came out today and said that they had a 10% increase in monthly users. Let's see if that can continue. Let's see if they can grow that.
Let's see. Okay. Let's talk about AMD. Is AMD back in buy territory? Dropped last week as well. Pretty drastic drop
Mm-hmm.
on Thursday. So AMD is a stock that went up pretty dramatically from $76 52-week low to a 52-week high of $267. Now it's around
Mm-hmm.
$215. So people saw the drop. Like I said, it was a pretty drastic drop actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's now the time to start buying AMD.
Yeah, I remember last year when I said telling last year that we'll get below 212, and a lot of people thought I was crazy. And here we are. That 195 area to 191 area, I like a hell of a lot. I think we're having deep corrections. Troy, you pointed this out. A lot of people are having margin calls, and there's not okay. If the high is 267 and you got in at 234, how much room do you have it to go up if the ceiling is actually the high? A lot of people were just buying off of emotion and
Mm-hmm.
not based off of symmetry. So that 194 and that 195 area is a great area to buy that will put it in your favor. If we ever drop below that, those prices are reserved for Stock Club. But if we drop below that, you're good. But I think we should bounce up from here over the next 2 months. February is going to be a rougher month, but going into March and April, I think we'll be pretty strong. So if you're holding for the long term, you're good. If you're gambling over the next week, you're going to have some issues. But that was definitely a good entry to be able to get in last week around that 196, 195 area, and then by April we should be back in the 250 range.
Yeah, I think you got again. This is one of those companies that just been a firm believer in since I think I've started buying shares at $57.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of my 1,000 share companies as well. The story hasn't changed. Like that, just what it comes down to. Has the story changed? Right? Are they still in
No.
that GPU market? Are they still in the CPU market? Did they release products? Did they talk about their future? Like Lisa Su got on CNBC and told you everything you want to hear,
To hear.
and it still sold off. Did the
Yep.
story change? No. Right. And so if you look back, even when we were talking to Dave Shands about this and with the price that it was at, and people like, oh my gosh, it's left the barn, it's too high for us to get it. And then it kept going and it got up to 267. And now here we're down at 195 after their earnings. And people are like, well, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It might be the story hasn't changed. Sometimes you got to have pullbacks so people can have new entries to get into a position before it goes on its next run. You don't want it to continue to climb, right? Like theoretically, yes, I want the stock to go to 300. I want it to go to 400. But you have to have new buy-ins, right? That's how the volume increases, by having new people come in with new money at good prices. And so when it goes to 267, it pulls back to 195. Okay, that might be a good entry point for some capital to come in. And let's see where it goes. It's at 215 now. That hasn't been 36 hours of trading.
Yep.
Right. That's a nice turnaround.
Yeah, and you got to look at price. Last October, the high was 267.08. This January got to 265.14, which is almost the high. That's the zone to stop buying. Like it had a double top. If you look at a larger time frame, it's just pulling back from those areas. Like regardless if you believe it or not, the market obeys certain price areas. That's why when I called that Bitcoin 20 a few years ago, there's certain key levels. April last year, certain Lily prices. The market has trillions of data points into it. People know to stop buying at the high. Only the dumb money is buying at the all-time high. Even Bitcoin, if you're buying at 122, 125 and it fell apart, everyone was looking to get out at that point. The high was already set in. So just wait for great prices. 195, 196. If it ever drops to 162 mid-year through the summer, that's a pretty good load to boat price. If you're holding for 5 years, you'll be good. But you have to obey the laws of price.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl of tech, and that's when Nvidia reports. And that will tell us a lot about the demand. It'll tell us a lot about the AI story. And depending on how that goes, you'll see how the market will move. So we're 2 weeks away from that.
Yeah, shout out to Dave Shands, man. I gotta talk to the brother.
Yeah, listen, three-way me, old school on the FaceTime.
Hey, yo.
Pause.
Yo, we lost you again.
Damn.
Copyright.
Who is that? Holly.
I'm down again.
But yeah, Dave Shands, he made a lot of money on the options call. And speaking of options call, EYL University next week, Troy's options call class is on Thursday.
I'm back.
That happens once a month. It's become something that has become extremely popular as far as for investor in the investing community, trader community, I should say, for people that are interested in trading options, from people that are beginning, just starting out, to high level advanced. In my opinion, the best options community online, and real world results. So make sure you mark your calendar, because they are timely. The calls are timely. Like, if you watch the replay, you might have missed something. So mark your calendar next Thursday for Troy's options class.
I'm back.
And then also for EY University, we have regional meetup groups that we've been doing. We've been going to different parts of the country, and the next part we're going to is Miami. So if you're in the Florida area, or if you just want to come to Miami, if you're NYU.
What date is that?
That's
It is March 29th.
March 29th.
Okay,
March
March
29th.
29th. Mark your calendars.
Yeah.
Mark your
Shout out to everybody in the community. Shout out to everybody, and we're just gonna give this away to them tonight. EYLU. We talked about Corning, ticker GLW, maybe a couple months ago. If you looked over the past month, I mean, it's probably been one of the best performing stocks in the S&P. Sure, had another crazy day today. It was one of the top 3 performers in the S&P, and then already after hours, it's up another $3. Man, Corning, we've been in that since like $83, bro.
Yeah.
So to watch it go here and understand the story, and then we broke down the story and saw who they were working with, their potential
Great partnership show.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Hell of a story. And I see a lot of people put it in the community. They're up 200%. Some people have better percentage gains than me, which is incredible. I think that's incredible. So shout out to all y'all. But yeah, I'm back, man. I'm back. I'm cooking up, and it's going to be exciting. I might bring some friends with me. You never know.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you never know.
So yeah, EY University, man. Make sure you tap into that. If you got the app, if you're on EY University, download the app, get access. You go to EYLUniversity.com. But just remember, EY University, man, that's we've been cooking up in there. So shout out to everybody that's been making money. That's a community of traders and people that really want to just, level up in their journey.
I see you, Jermaine. Okay, Jermaine. Yeah, VRT too. Shout out to Vertiv. We killing on that.
Yeah. What time is the options class on Thursday?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock
7
Eastern
o'clock.
Standard Time.